Okay. Um, my first love was baseball. And I grew up in a baseball house. My father was a capital B baseball player. We used to go throw around. I would try to hit a little bit or a little bit. Never got particularly good at it. We watched games together. I did it with my grandfather, my uncles, everybody. And I used to like to pitch. Now I'm right-handed. And my options for having a hero early on were a little limited. I was a big fan of Tom Severs. Now, even though he came to prominence playing for the New York Mets, who I hate with the passion of a thousand suns, he was the option best available. And when I was, a kid, I think he was already playing with the Cincinnati Reds. My only two other choices at that time were my own Philly, Steve Carlton, who was a lefty, and also is a really oddball, and Nolan Ryan. But that was before he was a million no hitters, Nolan Ryan. That was when he was a walk 10 guys a game, Nolan Ryan. So it was a little hard to quite idolize him yet. So I did love Tom Seaver, man. He was my boy. Loved him. Collected his cards. And I collected a lot of other baseball cards, and I had them, throughout well into adulthood. And when I became an adult, what I used to do was go to card shows, collector shows, and I would find rookie cards for whoever was there, and I would get them to sign them. And then I would display them. I had these nice frames made in our home, and I would hang them up in the hopes that some other lesser dork would come over and oogle them. And that was how I used to spend my money. So lo and behold, one day, I'm well into my 20s. There's a ad in the paper for the upcoming card show in about 4 months, and lo and behold, the featured guest of this show is my boy Tom Seaver, and I'm so excited. Even though his ticket is obscenely expensive, I buy a ticket. I go on eBay. I wildly pay way too much for a baseball card for Tom Seaver, the rookie card, and I wait semi-patiently for the show to come around. And day of Saturday morning, I go. I bring my baseball cards with me for the different people going. I bring my own Sharpie just in case I don't have one. And I get to the show. And I get in Tom Seaver's line. Now, Seaver is dressed in a sports coat. He's got a nice blue button down, some khakis. He basically is dressed like his wife dragged him to church that day. And he's got a handler guy who looks like some kind of security dude. And he gets up there. You get up there, so you reach his table finally, and the line was moving crisply, a little more crisply than I was used to be perfectly honest. And when I get up to Seaver's table, I have my card. I take it out. It's a little plastic protective case. I hand it to the handler guy. Seaver's looking down at his table. Guy puts it down. He slides it. Seaver looks at it. He signs it. He has his own Sharpie, fortunately. He slides it across. The handler picks it up, bang, and he points me out of the line. That's it. Couldn't have taken more than 4 seconds. And my flabber was gasted, man. I was crushed. Like here was my hero. I was so excited to meet Tom Seaver. I normally talk to these guys a little bit. And I didn't understand why this complete stranger had not like asked me how I was doing. They asked if we want to go grab a drink, how are my kids, anything. And I just and I stood there as an adult and I just said that, like, I think Tom Seaver was just a dick to me. I really do. And so I get in the next line. Tom Seaver is the biggest name. For those of you who don't know, he's a Hall of Fame player for baseball. The next biggest name that day is a significant step down. Never made it to the Hall. Was Pittsburgh Pirates slugger and cocaine enthusiast Dave Parker. And I get up there. Dave has a much slower line. And when I finally get up to them, like, Dave is not wearing a button down or a jacket or any such thing. What Dave has on is a black and white Hawaiian shirt, unbuttoned down to his navel, no undershirt, and just an enormous python-sized gold chain. Like, if that chain was instead of belt buckle and he was in Texas, he would have been the envy of every saloon. Like, it was just stunning in its magnificence. Now, Dave did not have a handler either. What he did have was a bucket of the Colonel's fried chicken, original recipe, because Dave Parker is keeping it old school. So old school that he doesn't believe in napkins. And so he's grabbing your hard case of your plastic collectible and he's getting his greasy fried chicken fingers all over it. And there's a part of it that was kind of hysterical. Because it wasn't the actual collectible, but it was the case. But he's literally fingerprinting every one of them he gets. And so I get up to Dave and I said, "How you doing, Mr. Parker?" He's the only people I ever mistered in my whole life. I don't do that with other people. And he took the rookie card from me and he looked at it and he said, "Man, that rookie card, I was a good looking man." But then he caught himself and he said, "I am a good looking man." And then he looked up, he made eye contact with me, and I must have looked kind of bummed. And he's been doing these card shows for 20 years at this point in time. He's seen everything. And the sage wisdom that he has, he looks at me, kind of downtrodden. He goes, "Hey man, your woman pissed that you're here?" And I went, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I didn't ask. And he said, "What's going on?" Like he's in now. And I said, "Man, I was really excited to meet Tom Seaver. The guy's been my hero my whole life, and he kind of blew me off." And he separated his table in his area about his velvet rope between him and Seaver, and he never breaks eye contact with me the whole time. And he looked all the way over into Tom Seaver's area, still looking at me. And Dave Parker has big booming voice, and he goes, "Yeah, well, Tom's always been a dick." Just stops the room. And Seaver's at his table and he's looking down like this, but you saw him go like he heard him. He wasn't going to acknowledge him, but he heard him. And Parker came back over, looks. He's got he signs my card. He's got his greasy fried chicken things on the thing. And he hands it back to me, and he just says, like, "You have a better day, brother." And that was Dave Parker, my man. Thank you.